Hello, my name is Sophia Parker, and I am 30 years old. I never thought my life would change so much over something as simple as a credit card bill. But here I am, sitting at my parents' house with a story that still feels unreal. It all started 2 weeks ago on a quiet Sunday afternoon. I was relaxing on the couch, scrolling through my phone when I saw a notification pop up. New charge, $3,500, luxury beach resort, Hawaii. My heart skipped a beat. I hadn't been to Hawaii, nor had I booked any vacations. Confused, I quickly opened the banking app and checked the transactions. My jaw dropped as I scrolled through the long list of charges: fancy dinners, spa treatments, and luxury hotel bookings. All of it amounted to nearly $115,000. This had to be a mistake. Maybe the bank mixed up my account with someone else's. I called the customer service line, hoping they could fix the issue. But after 20 minutes of holding and answering security questions, the representative's words made my stomach turn. "Ma'am, these transactions were made with your physical credit card," she said. "Are you sure you didn't give someone permission to use it?" "No," I replied firmly. "My card is in my purse right now." After hanging up, I ran to my purse and opened it. My wallet was there, but when I unzipped it, I felt my heart drop. My credit card was gone. I paced around the room, trying to think who could have taken it. I didn't lend it to anyone. Suddenly, a thought hit me. My mother-in-law, Marilyn. She had visited our house a week ago when Ethan, my husband, wasn't home. She had asked to borrow my purse for a second because she needed to grab a tissue. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now it all seemed too suspicious. Without wasting another minute, I picked up my phone and called Ethan. "Hey, can you come home early tonight? We need to talk," I said, my voice shaking. "What's going on?" he asked. "Your mom took my credit card and is on a trip to Hawaii." I just found out. There was silence on the other end. Then, after a long pause, Ethan finally spoke, but instead of the support I expected, his words shattered me. "Why are you making this such a big deal, Sophia? She's family. Just let it go." "Let it go?" My hands trembled as I gripped the phone. "Ethan, this isn't just a mistake. She stole from me." "Look," he sighed, "if you can't respect my mother, maybe you should leave. I'm tired of this." I felt my chest tighten. Tears welled up in my eyes, but I blinked them away. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My husband was choosing his mother over me. "Fine," I whispered before hanging up. That night, I packed my bags. I knew I couldn't stay in a house where I wasn't respected. The next morning, I canceled my credit card to stop any further charges and called for a cab to take me to my parents' house. As I stood by the door, ready to leave, I noticed an envelope was lying on the floor near the mailbox. My name wasn't on it, but Ethan's was. Something about the way it was labeled, "Urgent, past due notice," made me curious. I picked it up and stuffed it into my purse before stepping outside. I didn't know then, but what I would find inside that envelope would change everything. I sat on the edge of my bed at my parents' house, staring at the envelope. I had been through so much in the past 24 hours that I wasn't sure if I wanted to know more. But something inside me, curiosity, or maybe anger, told me to open it. My fingers trembled as I tore the seal and pulled out the papers inside. The first thing I saw was the balance due, $45,000. My breath hitched. It was a notice of overdue payments for a personal loan. My eyes scanned the document for details, and then I found it. Ethan had taken out the loan 6 months ago. He hadn't mentioned a thing to me about it. Not once. I kept reading. The loan was marked as high priority because Ethan had missed several payments. If he didn't pay it back soon, the lender would take legal action. My mind raced with questions. What had he done with all that money? Then I saw the next line, which sent chills down my spine. Co-signed by Marilyn Parker. His mother had co-signed the loan, meaning she was directly involved in this mess. I wanted to scream. I had been married to Ethan for 4 years, and we had built a life together, or at least I thought we had. Now, I was discovering secrets that could ruin us. The loan, the credit card theft, and the fact that he had sided with his mother instead of me. I felt betrayed. I didn't sleep that night. I tossed and turned, thinking about everything. By morning, I had made a decision. I was done being the victim. I wasn't going to let Ethan and Marilyn ruin my life. The next day, I made a few phone calls to my lawyer and my bank to discuss my options. I explained the credit card theft and the loan situation. The bank representative assured me that, since I had canceled the card, I wouldn't be responsible for any future charges. My lawyer, on the other hand, had an even better plan, one that involved legal action against Marilyn for fraud. With a plan in place, I gathered my strength and headed back to my house to confront Ethan. When I arrived, he was sitting on the couch, scrolling through his phone as if nothing had happened. "We need to talk," I said firmly, standing in front of him. He glanced up, clearly annoyed. "What now, Sophia?" I pulled out the past due notice and tossed it onto the coffee table. "Care to explain this?" Ethan's face paled as he picked up the papers. "Where did you get this?" "That doesn't matter," I snapped. "What matters is that you lied to me. You've been hiding this debt and your mother helped you do it. I trusted you, Ethan." He stood up, running his hands through his hair. "I didn't tell you because I knew you'd overreact, just like you're doing now." I laughed bitterly. "Overreact? You took out a $45,000 loan behind my back and let your mother steal my credit card for a luxury trip. That's not overreacting, Ethan. That's betrayal." Instead of apologizing, Ethan's expression hardened. "We needed that money, Sophia. My mother's investment in that property was supposed to pay off the loan. And how's that working out for you?" I asked, crossing my arms. "Because as far as I can see, your mother is living her best life while you're drowning in debt." He didn't answer. The silence was all the confirmation I needed. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. "Here's what's going to happen, Ethan. I've already contacted my lawyer. Marilyn is going to face charges for stealing my credit card, and you're not touching a single cent of my savings. I'm filing for divorce." His eyes widened. "Divorce? You can't be serious." "Oh, I am," I said, my voice cold and steady. "You made your choice when you sided with your mother. Now I'm making mine." Just then, the front door opened, and Marilyn walked in carrying shopping bags. She looked surprised to see me standing there. "Oh, Sophia, I didn't expect to see you here." "I'm sure you didn't," I replied. "I came to let you know that I've reported the credit card theft to the police. You'll be hearing from them soon." Marilyn's face turned ashen. "You wouldn't do that. We're family." "Family doesn't steal from each other," I shot back. "I trusted you, and you betrayed me. Now you'll face the consequences." Ethan tried to step between us. "Come on, Sophia. Don't do this. We can work things out." I shook my head. "It's too late, Ethan. You should have thought about that before you chose her over me." With that, I turned and walked out of the house, feeling a mixture of anger and relief. I knew this wasn't the end, but it was the start of something new, something better. Over the next few weeks, things moved quickly. Marilyn was charged with credit card fraud, and the court ordered her to pay restitution. Ethan tried to reach out to me several times, but I ignored him. I was done giving him chances. I finalized the divorce and focused on rebuilding my life. I started working on a business idea I had been putting off for years, and for the first time in a long time, I felt free. One day, as I was organizing my new apartment, I received a text message from Ethan. It was short and desperate. "Marilyn left. I'm drowning in debt. Please help me." I stared at the message for a moment before deleting it. I wasn't going to let him drag me down again. As I looked around my apartment, I smiled. I had lost a husband, but I had gained something far more valuable: my freedom and peace of mind. Months passed, and my life slowly returned to normal. I had moved into a cozy apartment downtown, just a few blocks away from my new job at a marketing agency. My days were now filled with work, coffee breaks, and the kind of peace I hadn't known in years. I had even started painting again, a hobby I had abandoned during my chaotic marriage with Ethan. My new place was small, but it felt like home. On the weekends, I would sit by the window with a cup of tea, watching the city come alive while working on my next art piece. One Saturday morning, as I was finishing a painting, I received a phone call from my lawyer. Sophia, I have good news, she said cheerfully. What is it? I asked, setting my paintbrush down. The court has finalized the restitution agreement. Marilyn is legally required to pay you back the full amount she stole, plus damages for emotional distress. I let out a deep breath. That's amazing. Thank you for everything. You deserve this, Sophia, my lawyer said. It's time for you to move on without looking back. She was right. A few weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that Ethan's life had taken a turn for the worse. Marilyn had abandoned him after realizing she couldn't manipulate him for more money. The house we once shared had been repossessed, and Ethan was living in a small rental apartment. I didn't feel sorry for him. He had made his choices, and now he was facing the consequences. However, there was one final twist that I hadn't expected. One evening, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered it. Sophia, it's Ethan. His voice was hoarse, as if he had been crying. I know you don't want to hear from me, but please, just listen. I remained silent, unsure of whether to hang up or let him speak. I lost everything, he continued. I was wrong. I should have stood by you instead of my mother. I realize that now, but it's too late. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. For a moment, I felt a twinge of pity. But then I remembered all the nights I cried myself to sleep, the betrayal I felt when he chose Marilyn over me, and the strength it took to leave. I appreciate the apology, I said, my voice calm. But I've moved on, Ethan. I hope you can too. Is there any chance we could? No, I interrupted firmly. There isn't. I ended the call and blocked his number. I had already given him too many chances. That night, as I sat on my balcony watching the city lights flicker, I felt a sense of closure wash over me. I had walked through fire and come out stronger on the other side. I wasn't the same woman who had cried over a stolen credit card and a broken marriage. I was someone new, someone who knew her worth. I smiled to myself and picked up my sketchbook, ready to plan my next painting. I had no idea what the future held, but I knew one thing for sure. It was mine to create. As the cool night breeze brushed against my skin, I whispered softly to myself, "This is just the beginning."